discussion and session, you can say, I have cooked up a story which is partially correct, partially cooked, and just try to imbibe the entire story so that you can identify what are the publication ethics related issues in the story, and we can discuss them one by one. Okay. So Dr. ABC has joined DM Gastroenterology in our department in 2023 batch. So he must be present here in this group. Consulted his guide for research proposal and discussed about some of the possibilities that what can be done, but they could not reach to any conclusion which can be proceeded. So finally, guide decided that a research proposal which was prepared by Dr. XYZ, he was working as PDF under the same guide, and he obtained ethical clearance for the proposal. And later on, after 6 months of his PDFship, he got a job as assistant professor and he left and gone. By the time ethic clearance was secured, research project was started, and 25% recruitment was completed. So in this research proposal, PI is the guide. Co-PI, we have other faculty member working in the same unit. And we have collaborator for immunology, emergency medicine, and hepatology because they were the concerned department. So the title was a study of serological immune response to Covishield vaccine in patient with liver cirrhosis. Right. So 25% work was done by Dr. XYZ when Dr. ABC has joined. In this study, estimated sample size was 200 and 6 months of follow-up was needed for each participant. And 4-time blood specimen was collected for each participant over 6 months time. When Dr. XYZ has left, means the PDF fellow, when he left the proposal, at that time 50 patients were recruited, 12 had completed 6 months of follow-up, and total 120 blood specimen were collected from the 50 participants. Rest of the work was done by our new recruit, Dr. ABC, and he completed the recruitment from 50 to 150. 6 months of follow-up was completed from 12 to 150, and 4 blood specimens were collected for 120. He did data entry, data analysis, and by the time he has reached to the examination stage when he has to submit his final results. All the tests were done by the immunological staff, means the technicians working in immunology department. So he was left with 50 patients which were to recruited. So he requested his colleague working in KGMC, यार वो 50 पेशेंट और दे तो मेरा प्रोजेक्ट पूरा नहीं हुआ अभी तक. दूसरे भाई ने कहा ठीक है तुम वो वाले 50 दे देना, हम ये 50 दे देते हैं, ठीक है, और आपस में एक्सचेंज हो गया. Had completed serum specimens, so by the time thesis was to be written or project was to be completed, 200 patient completed, follow-up completed, all serum sample completed, data entry completed, analysis done, everything is done. There is nothing wrong about it. It's perfectly right. Now he was busy in theory. A consultant was creating ruckus, please prepare the manuscript. So he requested his wife to prepare a manuscript for him, right? And she was working in immunology, so it was easy for her to write a manuscript on antibody response. And she was also busy with kid, and she has taken long sentences, some paragraph from her previous work and other published papers, and gave references to good, excellent reviews, cited her own works, just publish hi kar rahe to apna hi citation badha lete hain, and his own friends' citation, right? So this is the entire story. So this is how we prepare the list of contribution by different people. On the first column, you are getting the abbreviation of all the contributors, and this is how we prepare chart, that who has done what, and then we decide the authorship. So what are the publication issues you could identify in the entire story? These are the, I've just listed few. You can
Plagiarism.
Okay, fine. I agree. Plagiarism. Yes. Yeah, this story is full of publication ethics related mudda. Lots of publication ethics has been, you know.
Conflict of interest. There is no industry involved. It is a conflict project by the institute. Which conflict of interest is found in the book?
चलो हम ऐसा we will go back to the first page and we can see that where you can identify. You may not remember the entire story. You may think that any publication ethics related issue in this page. At least identify one issue.
Okay, group 3, you pass on the question. So group 3, you tell us.
Just I will keep on rotating the slides so you can try to read.
Investigator change. Investigator change after experience. So can you not have, suppose I die, what will happen? Will that project not happen? So you investigator.
Probably you are close to one of the ethical issue, publication ethics related, but it is not exactly what you are talking. That the PI has not changed. See, in this study, PI is the guide. So PI is not changed. You need not to inform about your student. Okay, it was not the ABC, it is XYZ now. But PI, if it is changed, then you have to inform.
You know what I am going to do. Okay, back to group 1.
How the sample was collected? 50 sample came from KGMC.
Yes. Taking samples from other hospitals without having. That is not correct.
That is not correct.
Absolutely. They may have done some other something else. And we just take it. If you use source sample, no, that will have to prove it. Okay. Group B, by the time you must have got something. Group 2. You can't be so silent. That's the biggest group. One. That's at the back. Something.
Preparing the manuscript by wife is correct or not? Taking sentences from other manuscript is a plagiarism, but writing manuscript by wife, is it logical?
The person who is not involved in the study at all is writing the manuscript. It's a ghost. Even though it may be in the wife.
So giving reference to excellent reviews, what is your opinion? Shall we give lots of references to the review article in our papers? What kind of reference would be? Because that is also publication ethics. If you are not giving due respect to the author who has originally done the work, you are doing injustice to it.
So why do people give reference to reviews? There are There are lots of students who give reference to reviews. Why? Listen, why do people like to give references to reviews? Easy to publish. That's what we're saying. Why is it easy to publish? So giving more credibility. So reviews are written by people who have influence, who have what's the stature in the field. But that's not
this section of your writing, the reviews are actually acceptable as a reference in your introduction, where you are talking about the broad base, something like ACD burden, prevalence, pathogenesis. You want to discuss too many things in one single line. So it's acceptable to write review. In discussion section, you can give references but not reviews. So you can give to systematic review and methodology. There we can edit. So you should know which reference has to go in which place.
And students like to use reviews because they don't want to read the original article. Review is like a baked cake. While reading original article, making the cake. So it takes more effort. And reading, what you will find if you read 5 articles which are quoted in the review, you will really find one of them was quoted wrong. So that is why it's always a good idea to look at original article. And never quote by abstract words. There are some students who just see the abstract and quote the article. Nowadays everything is available on PubMed. Never read the article. And sometimes abstracts are so misleading. What is there inside the paper is not reflected in the abstract. So when you are doing discussion, as the submitter said, always read the article input and make your own judgment. And then quote that. What else is happening here? The last one. Yeah, group B has not spoken. We want you to see the last line. What is that?
Giving citation for
What is that one? You cite your own articles. What is that called? Self-citation. Why do you do it? Will read your own citations. In this case, she may not be author also, poor lady. First private, but you might increase your own citation, that is your benefit. And then putting your friends first, is that right?
Self-citation is acceptable when you are writing on a topic which nobody else has written, or you are writing and you want to give reference of your region, your country, because something which may be different in your country as compared to other countries, and you don't have data of bigger data. You have published a series of 20 pages from India, and somebody has published an original article of 200 pages, but you will give the reference of 20 pages. That is injustice. You should give reference to the bigger data, better quality study, whether you have done somebody else. Or at least it's not a very certain soul they talk about. Go, Karbo.
So you could identify all the 4 problems in this.
So we have identified some other issues. Author, who should be the first author?
Let's have a vote. What does this group say? Who should be the author?
First, or second?
What do you think? How many people think Dr. ABC who did their 25% of work, but was involved in?
But yes, if we producer started the project 25% completed when he's done. He should be the first or the second.
Or the XYZ should be the first one. Let's have a vote. ABC, how many think ABC should be the first one? Nobody thinks. How many think XYZ should be the first one? All. The rest, you don't think they, I don't think should be the first one. That is a big part.
That is this shared of it is just a pseudo share of always it will be counted as a first or third thing. Whatever you name it. ये अपना सेल्फ सेटिस्फैक्शन के लिए जब सर उसने क्लियर ऑफ है लेकिन एक्यूरेसी दैट फर्स्ट और सेकंड ही ये आप समझ लो उसको कोई डाउट नहीं है you have to make a clear line you want to be first or this author and second
But you have to choose something that you are.
which one was more difficult whether to draft a project or to execute a project so who should be the first now it is so easy. Now everybody is telling me same words. For the difficult thing, sitting and drafting the project is difficult. It's not easy job, it's easy. But definitely the work who has followed every patient for 6 months, at least the collaborative with KGMC, he would have transported that, followed the patient. So he would have done much more.
And plus, the last, he must have also, and he has, I mean, just go back to his slide.
Yeah.
The ambulance is the day one, the entered the day one, the ambulance is the day one. Even though he gave it between why to why, but he must have go like this data. So he obviously should be more correct. You see data entry, data analysis, so everything, he has done a lot more work.
So second issue is how to decide authorship and its sequence. And for that, basically, I showed the table that once you have to decide your authorship, you make your table like this, break the entire process of publication in different pieces and see who has contributed in each section. And then it will be very clear who should be the first author, who should be the corresponding author, who should be the second, third, and fourth.
So sir, should the immunology technician, a technician working in department of immunology,
Instead of
should be author or not? How many things he should do? Technician who gave authors, who studying on zero level, in response to COVID vaccine. He has done all kinds of things. Should he be an author or not? How many things he should be author?
he has tested 800 samples.
800 samples, doing ELISA is not an easy job. So how many of you think he should be an author? One. So 99, two. So the
Why?
okay, go first and tell us why he should be an
Because they did most of the work, like I'm from pathology. So when I did my thesis, the technician who actually put the IHCs, I had listed him as a.
No, that is wrong. His job is to take care of the patient sample, not the research sample. His responsibility is not to manage your research sample. That is your responsibility. You should sit down and test it.
Okay, so how many things he should not be an author? What are the steps? Why he should not be an author? Then I'm doing the things.
The job was to test the sample, but he might not know realize why he
So he doesn't know the consequences of that. He doesn't understand the significance of this work. That is right.
Basically, every research project has three parts. First is preparatory phase. When you concept, you develop concept, you write proposal, arrange funding, take ethic clearance, all these things. Then second portion is when you execute the project. You recruit patients, follow up, collect sample, test, storage of sample, data collection, data analysis. Third is your writing of your analysis. Basically, where the data analysis, writing, editing, submission of those things come. So authors have contributed in all the three steps in some or other form. Right? See, this is very murky water. Many times we break the rule, we give authorship to the people who have not contributed, especially to our students, because we want that they should go ahead. Right? And same way happens with the faculty also, that many times we give authorship to some faculty who have not contributed. But whatever the two things you should know, whom you are giving authorship, nobody is going to question you. Hardly ever. But you should know what is the truth, how the authorship should be decided.
So did Piyush must have discussed with you what are the guidelines for authorship? AT&T guidelines? So I was there. So can somebody tell us what are the three things an author must satisfy? What he told you? He told you, no?
So the first part of the meeting.
International Committee of Medical Editors.
I can tell you the last one. You should have seen the final manuscript and read and endorse the final manuscript. That is the third one. What is the second one?
You approve the final manuscript, means you can be asked for the question and you are supposed to give answer that how this data was collected. If there is any wrong, you are answering. If you are an author. And that is why many journals, when somebody is submitting manuscript, are sending email to all the co-authors and asking them to approve that yes, you are accepting this authorship. If you are not accepting, you can decline and your name will be removed.
So what was the way of including if the authorship, if you wanted to, for the technician to get, just the technician thing can go. Not in the author, but it can go in, then we should not be an author.
What way?
We get, what we done, what we think can go. Can go as a knowledge, not as knowledge, that's equal.
Official staff, clerk who follow the patient, keep the data, files, etc. All those can be acknowledged. So that this is the another ethical question. Was it ethical to receive 50 questions from other center? What should have been done again? Yes, we should inform our committee that we want to receive 50 questions from KGMU and our ethical clearance should be obtained from KGMU and then we could. Right. This already we have discussed. It is mutual understanding, but ideally it should not be done.
There's nothing I know, people used to get the slide made from my.
This is an important point. Was it right to take sentences from all published manuscripts? Can you take your own written sentence from your own manuscript while you are writing a second? That is also plagiarism, that is one, and that is also copyright issue. You have written that manuscript submitted, but once you have published somewhere, this copyright belongs to journal. Journal can sue you. That you have taken this part from my paper without permission. So even if you have to cite your own paper, your own figure, your own table from previous manuscript, you have to take a written permission from the publisher. Most of the time you will get permission if you were the author in the previous manuscript. Otherwise, you have to do it. So this is the important point which I want to highlight here.
There is one common agreement. Where you can get each use everything, but still you have to write.
You have to take permission.
But they give you permission to use any part of it. So that they are being public journals, they give you permission to use, but some of them as, I mean, just saying you have to pay. Even to use one figure, you have to pay it.
Similar, this thing also applies to many because we are on intention and using different scoring system. Like we are for MHE, we are using LMSC, whether you use something. That is also what those things are patented. We use quality of life score. We are very fond of doing quality of life students. Be very sure that you have taken permission from the person who is holding the copyright for that questionnaire. Two mistakes we do very often. That is one we use without permission. And then they can sue you and ask for the compensation. That is first thing. You means corresponding author. So you don't worry, your guide will be. Second important thing is we are very fond of taking some quality of life questionnaire which was originally developed in English and we will translate it in Hindi and use it. That is also against the law. Scientifically also it is not acceptable. And publication angle also you cannot translate any questionnaire without obtaining permission that I want to translate it in Hindi or any other language. That is first because there is very standard guideline to translate any questionnaire. There has to be two forward and two backward translation, then a consensus, and the developed version will again be a copyrighted of the original. That will not be a copyright. तो ये एक बड़ी कॉमन मिस्टेक है जब लोग करते हैं वो क्वालिटी ऑफ लाइफ स्कोर करना सबसे आसान काम होता है वो
It's not difficult to get permission. You write to them, most of the time you get permission. They will agree to you, so you will for activity. And what Amit is saying that they can sue. We had one multinational study where this quality of life kind of thing, a multi-dimensional juvenile arthritis score was developed. This was started in Italy, and we did it in 21 languages across the world. And then when it came to publication, because this was developed based on the Stanford University's health assessment questionnaire score. Was not developed using that as a thing, and they had not taken permission from Stanford University. So court case was put up in Italy against this whole thing, and it took for those PIs 2 years to settle that court case, and then only these new score, the Jabbar score, as well as the 21 translations to get published. So it's not that it does not happen, it happens at that level. And why everything had been done, because they must have talked to them, but they did not take an official permission.
And be sure if you are asking permission before starting your work, there is a good chance that you will get a waiver of fees and permission board. Once your work is completed and especially if accepted, they will never accept any waiver. You have to pay them. That is the only way one of the faculty in the institute has paid, because he has connected with the student. Once the paper was accepted, you were asked that where have you taken copyright permission? And then third eye was open.
So, and it's not
Then
different.
he has to pay some $5,000.
Because it is intellectual property. You have developed a system or a score, it is your intellectual property. So you have to pay for it.
And this is true for your SPSS and the Strata also. Whichever software you are writing, you should have license for that, because they can ask you, you have written this software for this, do you have license, or any of the author or you should have license to this, use this software. So this applies to all the software too.
That is also positivity, a form of positivity. And you write SPSS so and you use the finally word. So never write it. Because anyway, we are not doing those kind of studies where you go to the SPSS.
Whichever version of SPSS you want to use, please use, but write the number which is for the license is available.
Then
Write that number.
don't use anything, and all you ask us that if you have a pattern to do, use that second one. So you can really land up, when you don't know how to use it forward.
The Strata also purchase certain license, they will look at affordable. Now it is work matter.
This is the part of-
So these were
Now,
the.
to do it in quality of life study. Or to really. To always get up, always.
So these are the few issues which we have identified. And I can't put in more ethical issues, communication issues in one manuscript, more than that.
So any questions?